It'll be Sanders to begin the drive.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Second down, back to Sanders. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Hurts sets up to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing. But to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position. And to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
So here's Washington now, an excellent field position to start things out. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
All right, partner, a brand new season. With it comes a sense of unbridled optimism for every team and, of course, every quarterback. It's a blank slate for every passer in this league, and he really couldn't hide his excitement during interviews this week. He thinks his offense is stacked. They've spent the entire offseason making adjustments and trying to find another gear. And as this season begins, they believe they've found it. You watch him warm up, everything is crisp, moving with great speed. This is an offense that can't wait to get to the first series of the new year.
Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Back to throw here. Got his target, Samuel. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now 1st and goal.
They'll run with Robinson, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Robinson. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And his kick here is good. And the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
It's a second down run with Sanders, and he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Right back to Sanders on first down, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option, and down he goes just beyond the 35, and that pretty move got him some extra space to run. They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
They go play action with Hurts. This is Smith with a grab. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Being chased out left. Looking left sideline, incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. Steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they get their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Patterson's kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Eligible receiver downfield.
So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official.
Still second down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That one is slant to McLaurin. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. They'll look to throw here. Completes it to Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week one. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day one.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. They'll look to throw again. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That great man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Another completion there. And we think back to the draft in the spring. This franchise essentially handing him the keys to the operation, a top 5 pick. Charles, how ready do you think he is?
I think he's ready for the NFL in terms of size, speed, the makeup of him, the character of him. The key is going to be, will this team accept everything he brings to the game and adapt to it, not just necessarily plug him into something that he doesn't do well.
So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Man, I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them. Both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Sixth ring is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football, as they've got it with a third down and less than a yard. On third down, Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So on fourth down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. Kicking into a headwind here in the second quarter. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
But first down, Hurts. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing is Hurts. And that is incomplete. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third and 10. Back to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They go play action here on first down. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. He'll dump that off and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Hurts sets up to throw it. Escaping the pressure. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jonathan Allen drops it for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Patterson's kick is good. And that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. So the fumble recovery had him set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the 2nd quarter. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Robinson, he'll try the left side. He'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 2nd and 9 now. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say...
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. taking it in from 4 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. Now the try here for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 2nd down, back to Sanders. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Pulled in at the 24. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Robinson up the middle. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. fielded at the 20. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again, right?
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Cameron Curl, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Robinson on a give right side. James Bradbury there to make the tackle. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
2nd and 1. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Robinson again. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. They'll try and run it in with Janovich, the fullback. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed, because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well. Especially the quarterback. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Hurts gets this to Sanders. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on third down. Here's Hurts to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll just get rid of it. Riley Dixon now to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and 5. They'll look to throw here. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll look to throw again. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to...
Now a play fake here on first down. He finds his man Johnson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll set up a throw. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Back to the ground with Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Here's 2nd and 8. Flushed out right. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Some early fireworks from this rookie quarterback getting the start in week 1.
And every time a rookie quarterback gets to start week 1, you and I both know the extra attention that comes with it. We know that he's going to throw the football, but will he make the right decisions? And in this case, with his legs, he showed the defense there's an extra dynamic to his game.
Hand off now to Robinson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. Touchdown! Curtis Samuel, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Commanders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
An unsuccessful attempt at the 2-point conversion. And it was a triple option play. And they chose option 1, handing it to the fullback. And that's not normal.
And sometimes you just miss your read key, right?
Yeah, I think so. And sometimes they actually call that, thinking that maybe everyone will bypass the fullback going out to the tailback or the quarterback. But in this case, they overwhelmed him and stopped him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start with a handoff to Sanders. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff. And just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They go play action here on 1st down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the 3rd, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll run. Here's Janovich, the fullback. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Andy Janovich taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Well, Charles, no matter what the prognosticators say before the season, whether they think you're going to be good, bad, or somewhere in the middle, you never quite know how week 1 is going to play out. But for them, it has been an impressive performance, and they are well on their way to a 1-0 start.
Yeah, it's a lot like opening up presents, isn't it, partner? You're not quite sure what's inside, but you're hopeful, right? In this case, exactly what they were looking for, exactly what they need.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will bump the lead up to 26. That time a 6-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On third and short, they'll try option left. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
And his throw here's incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
On the give, here's Robinson.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on 1st down to the 43, 2nd down.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
I know that from down to down, you'll hop into different offensive formations and try and fool the defense and pick up some yardage. But going into field goal formation on 2nd down and then running a fake off of it, help me here. Help me with this one. I'm supposed to know this. Help me.
I'm so baffled that I like it. Because it's different.
Different, all right, but not very successful.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 13. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. On 2nd and 9, Hurts. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
They run with Sanders off the option.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Hurts.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This will be caught by Brown. Room here to run. Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown, 69 yards. And the Eagles are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
He'll look to throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here. Several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be...
This was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Washington, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try and